Recently, I went over to the Book Depot in St. Catharines, and I was looking through the scratched and dented section for cheap books and or inexpensive books. The books themselves are fine, and I stumbled upon this book. What does being Jewish mean? It's basically a book full of questions, and in fact, the subtitle is "Read Aloud Responses to Questions Jewish Children Ask About History, Culture, and Religion." So it's from a Jewish perspective, a traditional Jewish perspective, and it's filled with very interesting questions. First page has things like, what does God look like? Why can't I see God? Why can't, does God have feelings? What does it mean that the Jews are the chosen people? What is the Messianic era? And so I was reading along, and it was quite interesting. It's talking about the Messiah and things like that. And one of the questions was, on page 10, was Jesus Jewish? And the answer was, yes, he was. He was a Talmudic student and is mentioned in the Talmud. During his life, he turned away from some of the practices of Judaism. After his death, his followers created a different religion, which became the basis for Christianity. The very next question is, why don't Jews believe in Jesus? The answer is, the Torah itself teaches us that no prophet or teacher can arise and change the laws of the Torah. Jesus and his followers attempted to change the laws of the Torah. Therefore, he cannot be considered a leader of the Jewish people. My heart absolutely broke when I read this page. On a more positive note, at least the idea that Jesus being Jewish is starting to break through into the mainstream. The author says, yes, Jesus was Jewish. He was a Talmudic student and is mentioned in the Talmud. But here's where the information goes astray. He says, during his life, he turned away from some of the practices of Judaism. Now, where do you think Rabbi E.B. Friedman, Jan Greenberg, and Karen A. Katz, whoever was the one answering this question, where do you think they got that idea that Jesus turned away from some of the practices of Judaism? Because if you read the Gospels from a Jewish perspective, you don't find that Jesus ever went outside of the norms and the practices of Judaism. Even where he differed with some of his contemporaries, he was still very well within the realm of discussing and arguing Jewish halakha, Jewish law. Jesus' teachings about the Sabbath, for example, do not go against the Sabbath. He simply emphasized that compassion for your fellow man takes precedence over the Sabbath, something that mainstream Judaism eventually picked up on and is the norm today. So the rest of that answer, when he said, after his death, his followers created a different religion, which became the basis for Christianity, well, that is ultimately true in the sense that some of those who claim to be followers of Jesus eventually did lay the groundwork for a brand new religion called Christianity. But many Christians today would not really think about church history or church tradition too much. They would at least outwardly say that they're looking to follow Jesus and his disciples, his first disciples, the apostles. So if you take that seriously, as I do, then you'll begin to realize that they didn't create a different religion. Read through the Gospels and the book of Acts. You'll see that their religion was Judaism. They kept the Sabbath, they went to synagogue, they kept the holidays of Israel, they prayed daily at the set times, they kept kosher, they wore tzitzit, they participated in the temple worship, and on and on. But the next question is really where my heart breaks, because why don't Jews believe in Jesus is the question, and the answer is right. The first part of the answer is right. It says, the Torah itself teaches us that no prophet or teacher can arise and change the laws of the Torah. And that's found in Deuteronomy 13. Deuteronomy 13 is an instruction in the Torah for the Jewish people to reject anyone who comes along and teaches contrary to the Torah. The text even says, even if the prophet or dreamer of dreams does signs and wonders and the signs and wonders come true, if he leads you astray from the Torah, you're not to listen to him. So when we Christians come along and say that Jesus abolished the Torah or brought a better way or changed the Torah, and we say that he was a miracle worker, we're actually just pointing Jewish people to Deuteronomy 13, and if they're obedient to Deuteronomy 13, they should rightly reject Jesus based upon our presentation of him. So the key, in order to present Jesus as a true prophet of God, the true Messiah of Israel, the true Messiah of the Jewish people, we have to recognize that Jesus did not break Deuteronomy 13. He did not go against the commandments found in Deuteronomy 13. Jesus was a miracle worker, yes, but he also didn't teach against the Torah, nor did he lead the people of Israel astray. As the answer says here, Jesus and his followers attempted to change the laws of the Torah. According to who? Maybe according to mainstream Christianity for almost 2,000 years has been saying that Jesus attempted to change the laws of the Torah. But if we take Jesus' own words, he said in Matthew 5:17, I have not come to abolish the Torah or the prophets. I have not come to abolish, but to fulfill. And he goes on to say in the following verses that the Torah won't be abolished until heaven and earth pass away. And in fact, you should be keeping and teaching others to keep the commandments. And if you carefully read the rest of the apostolic scriptures, you realize that the apostles didn't change the law either. So when the author here concludes, therefore he, Jesus, cannot be considered a leader of the Jewish people, they're basing that upon our misrepresentation of Jesus. Jewish people are not believing in Jesus because of our misrepresentation of Jesus. It's our fault that Jewish people don't look at the true Jesus, true Yeshua of the Gospels to find out that he truly was a Torah-observant teacher of Torah and truly the Messiah of Israel. So that gives you a little peek into why it's important that we recover the original faith and practice of Jesus and the apostles. Our continued rejection of the Torah, or at least the validity of the Torah, especially as it relates to the Jewish people, is actually discrediting Jesus in the eyes of the Jewish people. If you truly believe Jesus is your Savior, is the Messiah, and will be one day the Savior of the world, then you need to rethink your image of him. You need to rethink how you picture him. Was he some maverick who came to change the religion of Judaism to a new, better religion? Or was he coming to refocus Judaism back to what the Torah originally prescribed? Back to what God originally wanted of Israel, to focus on matters of the heart, matters of compassion, matters of love and mercy, without neglecting the more external matters like the Sabbath. So I encourage you to visit MessianicNiagara.com for more on this positive view of the Torah. And for more videos, click on the subscribe link below, or visit youtube.com/MessianicNiagara and click on the subscribe link there. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/MessianicNiagara. Follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/MessianicNiag. You can email me at contact@MessianicNiagara.com. And as always, please visit MessianicNiagara.com. There you can click on the donate link and you can send us any amount. Donating to us will enable me to continue to offer free content on the website. For those of you that have donated, thank you so much for your support. And for everyone, please share these videos with others. Thanks for watching.